Timestamp, it's October 19th, 2025, about 8 in the morning. I got up about 5, had a banana. I'm weird in that, well, I'm weird, but I'm weird in that I like bananas when they're like something between yellow and green. They've got like a really, really sharp sweetness that I like. And it was starting to lose the green, so I'm like, I need to eat this thing now, and it's a good breakfast. The thing was huge. Walking the hounds, letting them run around for a few. I have many, many, many pounds of chicken in there that I need to cut. I'm going to be cubing, doing a whole bunch of like olive oil marinade. And they're boneless chicken breasts. Aldi was running a special, so I grabbed a couple big packs. I think I'm going to basically cut out the like middle section and then probably trim it because they're really thick. But I'm going to make some chicken patties so I can fry up some like chicken sandwiches. I think it'd be pretty good. I'm on that brink of not quite cold but almost chilled. It's like 60 degrees and I'm out here in like shorts and my tank top. And speaking of tank top, doing the garage sale yesterday. And that's why 5 hours wore me out. I was just baking. Hope it doesn't sting, but it feels warm to the touch. What was I wearing? I've got bikini lines. But yeah, I was feeling that little tingle in my shoulder. My left one too, but my right one was more directly in the sun because of the whole sunrise angle thing. Feeling that little tingle in my shoulder last night, I'm like, oh, man, am I going to wake up like sunburned and whatnot? Which, yes, yo, not exactly. Good, you're pooping on the tarp. I appreciate that because there's just no grass to work with. Well done, Scrappy. He does that sometimes. Like, there's a couple of like folded up tarps over there that he's like, this is where I go. Well done. Good job. Ah, yes. You must try and eat a wasp. You are just a bonehead sometimes. I didn't notice any puffiness or any like stings last night, but loving on them, I didn't feel any like really expecting it though. Because if you saw, I think it was the last video, he was like playing tag with them, trying to catch them. I don't know. I mean, I do know that catching a wasp in my mouth. See, there's that other wasp nest. There. Am I getting it? I don't know if I'm getting it in the frame or not. Made a home on one of the ladders parked out here on the lanai. Scrappy. Didn't bring any wasps with you. Good. Yeah, no. You are making some weird choices. Yeah. Oh, okay. Stepping on the back of my shoe, not actually helpful. Gently. Thank you. If you don't say gently, firmly, he sometimes will like jump up and snap to grab it out of your hand. And I have all 5 so far. But I've felt little bits of teeth on the fingers, and it's like, oi, not okay, bud. You good? You like that bacon? That imitation bacon stuff, man, he loves it. Loves it. I'm working on my list for the day while I'm catching up on some videos. Apparently the No Kings, I haven't seen any negative, which is good. The No Kings marches yesterday apparently went really, really well. Over 7 million people came out. And I even saw there was a protest march in South Korea and a couple in the UK, just that I saw highlighted, which is cool. A lot of people, it's nice when other people are noticing and lending support, you know. It's good. But I was real afraid, look, when the disturbances did happen in Portland a couple years ago, there were some troublemakers running around, and I saw a video of this. There was a guy dressed, big white dude, dressed in body armor, all black, who was just walking around breaking windows of buildings where the protest was happening. And I saw the video of him being cornered by some of the actual protesters. They're like, what are you doing? You're not part of this. And he was completely avoidant, just tried to continue on his business, breaking windows for businesses and whatnot. Which, some stuff has come out on that, the idea that it was not one of the protesters, but somebody there trying to make the protesters look like they were causing problems. I was really afraid we were going to see some of that at the No Kings, just because there's a desperation factor to make it look like the people that were out marching are, you know, psychotic wackadoos, and that's not what's going on. It's not what's going on, but it's the picture that the other side would like to paint. So I was really concerned that there'd be some instigators that would give the media that narrative and the other guy talking points. You know, see what they did. See, it's not, they are radical and crazy and dangerous, and, you know, you get the gist. But it doesn't, I haven't seen anything about that, so I'm thinking that everything went the way that it should, and that definite statements were made, which is cool. Because, yeah, no. No. So, woke up to mostly Key to Time, Doctor Who, Tom Baker, Romano 1. My kid. if I hadn't already seen those episodes, man, I'd be pissed. Because they went from like part 2 of Rebos Operation to part 1 of Rebos Operation to part 1 of Power of Krull. Whoever's doing the programming today at Roku Doctor Who, check on them. Check on them. You know, maybe there's something special in their coffee today. Don't know. I'm just saying. Rebos Operation, I think, is a 4-part. Because, again, older Doctor Who was typically filmed with like 4 to 6 part in a serial format. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Always ends in like some kind of a cliffhangery thing. 25 minutes in, you know. But yeah, they went from part 2 to part 1 to a whole new story. It's like, because I was kind of half asleep on the couch, debating on, is it time to get up? You know? But, yeah, if I hadn't seen them before, if I was sitting at the edge of my couch watching them, I would be incensed. We're doing some Starbucks, the toasted coconut. Yeah. Oh, yes. That's so good. Health check, I feel pretty good. Not even necessarily panicky today, that's fine. It wasn't a request. Feeling pretty good. Reviewing footage from yesterday, because I typically review the footage to make sure I'm not, about to completely embarrass myself and my family, give away state secrets, that kind of thing. I had started to tell a story about somebody that knows my parents, knew my parents, what have you, that came by the garage sale. And I got distracted. I'm about to get distracted again. I'm pretty sure I hear a chihuahua at the door. Yep. Come on, little guy. Here we go. Let him in the room. Let him in the room. Let him in the room. Acorn. Come on, Tanner. That's kind of like bullying, sir. Oop, did my leg block you? Darn it, I hate that. You can get your bacon too, sir. There you go. Yeah, I'm looking at you. So, park it. There are times that it's often Tanner will be wanting to come in and Acorn will kind of run up on the door, and Tanner's a little guy. He doesn't want to play games and play tag with Scrappy. So it's almost like Scrappy's trying to keep him from coming back inside. I'm just not into it. It's not cool. It's to me, it just feels like a kind of bullying. We don't do bullies in this house. Which isn't to say that I don't like pit bulls. I'm saying the other concept of bullies. Because I've known a few pits over the years. They're pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this guy before or not. I'm going to call him Dylan. Older guy, he and his wife. And I think they think I'm stupid. Full disclosure, I don't trust Dylan at all. There was a time So Dylan used to drive my dad to the auctions when my dad lost his license. The auctions that he would go to every Wednesday and bring home things that he didn't need that are most likely here that I'm going to have to deal with because, we've talked about this. So, on one occasion, they went to an auction, and one of the things that was being auctioned was a Sawzall. And Dylan saw it and said, wow, that's really great, it works great, I could really use that. So Dad bought it, because my mom hoards paper, my dad hoards tools. And so he bought the Sawzall as well as other things, and for some reason the Sawzall never made it home. Now my dad maintains that the Sawzall made it home and then couldn't find it and was asking me, did you take it? Which, no, I didn't take a Sawzall, I didn't take your Sawzall. I have a DeWalt at home that I bought from a pawn shop for basically $50 10 years ago, 12 years ago, because we needed a Sawzall to cut drywall at our shop. We had to make a doorway and some other things. Long stories there. But I do have one. I did not take yours. And knowing all of this, I looked at the video because I had cameras up at that point, and I watched my dad through the video bring in everything that he had bought at the auction and put it down in the living room. Side camera for the dining room, living room, basically commons areas. He never brought the Sawzall in. I reviewed the footage. I went over it 3-4 times. He never brought the Sawzall into the building, which makes me think that Dylan liked it so much that Dylan kept it. But I got accused of taking it. So, and I think, honestly, my dad's a great man. Okay. The past 2-3 years, he's not a delight to hang around with. The dementia has really messed him up. I'm just going to say it. I think Dylan is well aware. I mean, I know he's well aware of my dad's condition, but I think he'd been taking advantage of and or possibly even stealing from my dad because it's easy, right? The guy doesn't remember what he's doing. It's real easy to throw blame somewhere else because he doesn't really understand what's going on half the time. So, that being said, I know who you are, Dylan. I'm going to play nice, but I know who you are. So, bearing in mind, I had never met him before, my mom's funeral, but I had seen him on film a lot because he would come over and I watched footage, so I already had a pretty good inkling of who Dylan was. I even have one side of a conversation. My dad was on the phone in the dining room. This sounds really creepy. I was watching my dad like Batman, but I really had to because the dementia. And I'm hearing my dad's side of the conversation, and I know that it's Dylan that called him. And Dylan is, based on my dad's responses, pressuring my dad to make up something, do something to get rid of Kelly and I, get rid of Pix and me. Because we're trying to cramp his lifestyle, we're trying to rule his life, and he's a grown man, he doesn't have to put up with that. It's running a pressure campaign on my dad against my wife and I, who are attempting to keep him from getting, taken by the state. I mean, that's where we are. So, naturally, he's the devil on his shoulder. He's whispering in his ear, hey, get rid of these guys. They're no good for you. We're the ones trying to keep you safe. This guy's trying to take advantage of you. I mean, that's the way I see it. So, but yeah, Mrs. Dylan was like, hi, do you know us? Do you remember us? We met you at your mother's funeral. do you remember us? And I'm like, I know who you are, yeah. I don't remember your name, but I know Dylan. I know who you are. And they were like, how is Fred doing? I'm like, well, he has dementia. He's in severe stage. It's getting pretty bad. His brain is broken. They're like, oh, okay, well, yeah. We just haven't seen him. It's like, yeah, because he's in a facility because his brain is broken. And they're like, right, we understand that. We know he was not in a great place. He's got issues. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. They're like, well, we see you're doing a garage sale, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm trying to, fix what I can fix, because a lot of stuff got broke. And Dylan was like, that's a big job. I'm like, oh, I know, my family, we've already resigned it. It's probably going to take us like 2 years to get all this done. I have no idea what Tiny's doing at this point. I just keep hearing the door open and close. So, I said, it's going to take us probably, we're counting on like 2 years. And Dylan's like, at least. He's like, I've been in there. I know, I've seen it. That's at least 2 years. Not so much on the negativity part, but just on the person that's seen it, verifying what the back of my brain is telling me. I was nice, I was kind, but man, I didn't need to hear that. 2 years, at least. Stop talking now and leave. That's what's going on in my head, just because I don't need to hear that. Thank you so much for your opinion. I appreciate that greatly. I'm glad you could stop by. So, I don't trust him at all. Here's the thing, that my dad, with where his brain has been, if you're hanging out with my dad once a week, and again, please understand, I love my dad, but if you're hanging out with my dad once a week, it's not because of his dazzling conversation skills. And it's not because of his positive personality that makes you feel joyful being in the room with him. If you're doing it because you love him and you feel a sense of loyalty to him, like Chuck the Wonder Idiot, although I still don't know if he was taking advantage of my dad or not. I get it. And Chuck was trying to have my dad make parts for him and stuff for the VWs and whatnot, so he had an angle. And I don't know if he took stuff or not, because he could have. But Dylan, other than a really good sawzall, what else is your angle? Maybe I become cynical. Maybe it's because of some of the work that I've done in the past, but yeah, no, I don't trust you. I don't trust you at all. Not a bit. So that happened. I don't even remember watching the video. I'm like, I started to talk about Dylan, and then whoosh, I think there were dogs and wasps, and my attention got diverted elsewhere. If my wife ever watches this, yes, I had a squirrel moment. Be proud. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee for a few more minutes. I'm gonna cut some chicken. I've got like 10 pounds of chicken in there to cut. But yeah, I'm gonna make some chicken patties for like sandwich, fry them up, and I'm gonna cube a lot more. My wife said that it helps her with meal prep because she's trying to get back in shape. If I can like pre-fry up some cube chicken, because she can just add it to about 18 different meals that she likes to make. So got some snack bags, basically snack Ziploc size bags, and that's a really good. I can put a little bit in there, and that's because she's not as big a carnivore as I am. But I can put in, like a half a handful in a snack bag, already cooked, freeze it, and then when she's doing a meal, she can pull it out, heat it up, and insert it into whatever noodle dish or rice dish or soup or whatever she's doing. Make it kind of ready to go. So, and I'll make some stuff for me and Tiny here too. Same kind of gist as far as either marinating or at least, in some way, shape, or form prepping it for future meal. But today we're going to have, I think, I've got some hamburger buns in the fridge that need to get used. So we're going to have us some fried chicken sandwiches. That sounds pretty good. That's right. Got some sliced Swiss cheese in there. Lots of possibilities. I got some mushrooms too. Maybe fry up the mushrooms, do some like chicken sandwiches with mushroom and Swiss. Little brown mustard on that. The wheels are turning. Ooh, that sounds good. I know what I'm gonna do. Alright. I'm gonna call this one, and I'll probably do another vid later after I get a whole bunch of stuff done. I've still got to do the homework regarding my dad, but it's 8. I know, right? It's 8:30 in the morning, so I got lots of time, which is cool. Like I said, I got up a couple hours ago. But she wants it for Monday, now that she told me on Friday when I asked her on Monday. You could have told me this on Tuesday or Wednesday, you'd already have it. Instead, I'm sitting back going, am I in trouble with the court? Can someone talk to me, please? Thanks. I don't get it. Still not AI, by the way. Does AI sunburn? I mean, I guess you could program it to, right? I'm not AI. I'm not AI. There's a men's health thing that I looked at. It was like men over 50 need to be concerned about this, and I clicked on it. And it was a female doctor, and she was doing that, and I'm like, some of your movements kind of funky. And there was a certain repetition to some of her movements and whatnot. I'm like, I think you're synthetic. And I looked at some of the comments, and a lot of people were like, hey, nice AI, can I get a real doctor? Stuff like that. I'm like, okay, it's not just me then. All right. Got AI slopped with an MD that may or may not be giving good advice to men over 50. Excellent. Perfect. I'm going to disregard everything in that video that I just watched. You know what I mean? It's like, to quote the ref, I think we need a ruling on this. Check it out. It's a wonderful Christmas movie. I recommend it for every family. It's our favorite Christmas movie. My wife and I. The Ref. Yes, Kevin Spacey. Dennis Leary. It's a family film. Anyway, make it a great day.